Welcome back to the deep dive. When we think about achievement, about designing a successful life, how early does that scaffolding really need to start?
Yeah, it's a good question.
We tend to assume things like high performance, goal setting.
Yeah.
Well, there's schools for later, right? For adults, maybe teenagers.
Mhm.
But the materials we're looking at today suggest something pretty different. That maybe we're really underestimating what a child's mind is capable of, like inherently.
It might be.
So our mission today is basically to unpack these materials. They lay out a very specific framework, apparently designed to help kids tap into their own ability,
Innate abilities, yeah.
right? To set goals. And this is the key part to actually achieve them. And the method itself is pitched as powerful, but also fun.
Fun, exactly. Think of it as a way for you, the listener, to kind of get the blueprint for building that early self-belief, that self-efficacy.
Okay.
Yeah, the core idea presented is what they call a simple yet powerful technique. It's really centered on manifestation, but specifically for children.
Manifestation for kids. That sounds potentially complex.
Well, what's compelling about these sources is how they seem to translate these sometimes abstract concepts like goal setting into really practical, accessible steps for a young learner.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal, as they frame it anyway, is to unlock the full potential of a child's mind. And the way they do it is by making ambition feel almost like playtime.
Interesting. So less chore, more game.
Precisely. So we're going to explore the nuts and bolts of this technique, like what are these kids actually doing?
Right.
And then we'll try to connect that to the promised benefits, sort of concrete long-term psychological advantages, things like overcoming limitations they might feel now, and also fostering real confidence down the line.
Okay, let's unpack that first part then. The materials promise this fun and easy method for kids to bring desires into reality.
Yeah.
But manifestation, the big word,
It is.
can be pretty vague, especially with children. We know imagination is key, you mentioned that, but that's still abstract. What's the actual structure here? What are the mechanics?
Right, and that's what's fascinating. The sources seem to move beyond just, wishing. They apply structure to that creativity.
How so?
Well, the technique works by getting kids to tap into the power of their imagination, yes, but it does it through specific physical and repetitive mental exercises. The materials actually detail 3 quite specific actionable steps.
Okay, tell us about those steps. A deep dive needs the specifics. Lay them out for us.
Certainly. So the first key component is something they call the intention cube.
An intention cube.
Yeah, it's a physical thing. The child draws or writes their goal. Maybe it's, learning a tricky bike maneuver or winning a school contest onto the faces of an actual physical cube.
Ah, okay, so you take the idea out of their head and make it solid.
Exactly. It immediately converts that internal desire into something external, something tangible. It's like visualization made real, something they can hold.
Got it. What's next?
The second step is what they call the 10-minute daily rehearsal. This is structured visualization.
Okay, like meditation.
Sort of, but very focused. Children are guided to close their eyes and repeatedly visualize the process of achieving the goal. Critically, not just the winning moment, but the steps involved.
Ah, the process. That feels important.
It is. It's essentially cognitive rehearsal. They're practicing the actions in their mind until their brain starts treating it almost like an expected success. It leverages that natural imaginative state kids are often in.
That distinction visualizing process versus just the outcome that seems crucial. It moves the whole idea away from maybe magical thinking
Right.
and grounds it more on something like neuroscience, training the brain, building pathways for action.
Precisely. You could almost think of the term manifestation here as a stand-in for effective cognitive rehearsal plus focused intention, but framed for a child.
Makes sense. And the third step,
The third step they really emphasize is the gratitude log.
gratitude log.
Yeah. The child needs to actually write down every small bit of progress they notice towards their goal. This directly links their effort to an outcome, even a small one.
Okay, so that reinforces the idea that they are the ones making it happen.
Exactly, that they are the agent of change, which is absolutely vital for developing that sense of self-efficacy, that belief in their own ability.
And that focus on fun you mentioned earlier, that must be essential for getting them to actually do this, right? Especially a daily 10-minute task.
Oh, absolutely.
If it felt like homework, forget it.
It would fail instantly. Yeah, this really sounds like it's engineered a communication strategy almost to make structured mental work feel like engaging play.
So the intention cube is maybe brightly colored. The visualization is a quiet, imaginative game.
Exactly. So they internalize the whole mechanism much more naturally. They start treating goal setting not as some chore they have to do, but as this creative thing they get to do that actually produces results.
Which ensures they stick with it,
They
makes the
improve-
learning effective.
Yeah, it makes that initial investment feel easy.
Okay, now here's where it gets, for me, really interesting. The material suggests teaching this framework can empower kids to overcome limitations. Big claim.
It is a big claim.
Let's push on that a bit.
Yeah.
What happens if a child follows all the steps? They visualize the process, they use their cube, they log their gratitude, but they still fail. They don't win the contest, they don't master the trick.
Right.
How does this framework handle disappointment? Or, the potential risk of creating a sense of entitlement, like, I visualized it, so where's my prize?
That's a critical point, and the sources seem to anticipate it. They do this by focusing heavily on the internal shifts rather than just the external win.
Okay, how does that work?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, like psychological development, the real benefit isn't necessarily getting the immediate prize. It's about developing internal resilience, what the sources actually call unleashing their inner strength.
Inner strength.
Yeah. The materials seem to frame failure not achieving the specific goal as simply evidence. Evidence that the process they visualized needs tweaking, needs adjustment.
Ah, okay. So it's not, I failed, it's the plan needs work.
Precisely. Because the rehearsal focused on action and effort, the child is hopefully equipped with more of a growth mindset. They learn that a limitation isn't some fixed part of who they are.
Right.
It's just a temporary boundary, maybe set by reality, maybe just by their mind, but it's something they can learn to move. The focus shifts from, I'm a failure, to my strategy needs revision.
So the small wins they do achieve along the way, the ones they log,
Yeah.
those serve as proof that the method itself works. Like, okay, I used my focus, I took action, and something happened.
Exactly. It confirms to the child, I am capable of directing my actions and influencing outcomes. And that feeling of capability is what they carry forward, you see, regardless of whether they won that specific poetry contest this time.
Right, okay. That makes the claim that this approach helps kids achieve their goals and create a brighter future, feel a bit more grounded. It's about the internal toolkit.
Precisely. And the psychological payoff could be quite profound because it links that early mental focus directly to longer-term personality traits.
How so?
By engaging in this structured imagination, by seeing results, even those small incremental ones they record in the gratitude log, the idea is you watch them grow into confident and driven individuals. They're learning core lessons in, like self-determination theory, really early on.
Feeling competent, feeling autonomous.
Yes, and feeling connected to their own goals and efforts.
This almost sounds like a way to inoculate kids against that feeling of helplessness that so many adults experience when they face big challenges.
That's a really good way to put it, yeah.
It's teaching them to be proactive,
Right.
creators of their lives, not just passively reacting to whatever happens.
Absolutely. The technique really functions as an early foundation for high self-efficacy. They have this tool, their own focused imagination that can consistently influence their effort, their strategy, their outcomes.
Which is a fundamental skill for adult life, really.
It really is. But packaged here for, maybe a 6-year-old or an 8-year-old.
So wrapping this up a bit, what does this all mean for you, the listener, who's taken this deep dive with us?
Well,
It seems this material gives us insight into a framework that's, well, highly structured, but manages to be fun. And it connects something we usually see as just play a child imagination directly to pretty high-level traits: drive, achieving goals, confidence.
yeah, it definitely reframes imagination. Not just entertainment, but a foundational tool for building that self-belief, that self-efficacy. We've seen the technique is described as simple, relies heavily on leveraging that natural creativity kids have, but through specific steps: the cube, the rehearsal, the log.
Right. All designed for immediate personal growth.
Yeah, the core takeaway seems to be that by providing this kind of structured imagination technique, the aim is to help kids unlock potential now. Not wait until they're adults to feel powerful or capable. They're taught to use their creativity for some pretty profound personal restructuring, potentially.
Okay, that brings us towards the end of this particular exploration. We've learned about a structured method aimed at children that uses fun, focused imagination and apparent simplicity to try and foster inner strength.
Yeah, and hopefully lead them toward becoming confident, driven individuals later on.
It's definitely a compelling argument for making goal setting feel enjoyable, feel tangible, right from an early age.
It really is. And, it raises an important question, I think, for all of us listening.
Which is?
Well, if using a highly structured, fun method, making visualization creative, tangible, enjoyable, if that's potentially key to unlocking potential in kids, how might applying those same principles, maybe not literally cubes and logs, but the principles of fun, tangibility, imaginative play, how might that change the way we as adults approach overcoming our own long-held limitations?
That's interesting. Because we often treat adult goal setting as such serious, rigid work, don't we?
We really do. Maybe we need to tap back into some form of structured play ourselves. Something to mull over, anyway.
Definitely food for thought. We encourage you to continue your own exploration into how maybe simplicity and focused, enjoyable imagination could perhaps revolutionize goal setting, whether it's for the young people in your life or maybe even for your own complex adult ambitions.